Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson, you are going to learn how to write the equation of a line given a point and a slope. The equation of a line is usually in the form of y equals mx plus b because we are dealing with a linear line. So because we are dealing with a linear line, we can use two methods to write the equation of a line. We can use the point-slope formula method, or we can use the slope-intercept formula method. I have done a video on using the slope-intercept formula method. You can go back and watch that video, compare both, and determine which one you prefer. I know there are times when you will be stuck with a problem on the exam, not remembering the formula to use, and so you can more than likely will remember the y equals mx plus b or the slope-intercept formula easier than remembering the point-slope formula. But guess what? It is good to know both methods so that you be versed in both methods, and also it's good to put both methods to memory. So let's get right into it. We will first need the y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1, and this is our point slope formula. This is our point slope formula. It says, write the equation of a line passing through point -1, 3 with a slope of 2. So the first thing we're going to do here is that we are going to write our formula y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And after we write our formula, we're going to label our coordinates, x1 and y1. Next step that we are going to do is that we are going to substitute our y1 and our x1 along with our slope into the formula. We have here our y1 is 3, so I have my 3 there, and my x1 is -1. Now, be very careful here because you had a negative here with a -1 there, right? And then we are going to substitute our slope, which is 2, and we're going to substitute it there. Now, you'll notice something here. Because you have just substituted your -1 here, you have two negative signs side by side. So two negative signs side by side is going to turn into a positive sign. So you have a +1 here. All right, it's going to be a +1. And you write down the other stuff. Now what you're going to do next, you are going to use the distributive property. And when you use the distributive property, you're going to multiply the 2 that is on the outside of the parentheses with every term or every element that is inside the parentheses. So this will give you 2x, and 2 times 1 will give you +2. What you have to do next, you have a -3 there, and we need to have y by itself. So in order to get y by itself, the inverse of -3 is +3. Whatever I do on one side, I must do that on the other side. And now I will end up with y equal 2x plus 5. Now what does that mean? This is the equation of a line, and this means that the graph is going to cross the y-axis at 5, and the slope is 2, which we were given the slope there. We can sketch this, all right? We can sketch this, and we'll notice that if we have this is 1, this is 2, this is -1, right? We can go up here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. Across the y-axis is 5. Slope is 2. It's a positive slope, so you can go up 2, which would be to 7 and over 1, or down 2 and to the left to 1, which would be at the point of here -1, 3, which takes us back to our point that's given to you there. And you can draw your line here. This is what your graph is going to look like. Okay, it's going through the point -1, 3. Okay, I always like to give other examples, and I'm going to use literally a point here. Write an equation of a line passing through 4 comma negative 1, and the slope is going to be negative 1. We always start off with our formula. Y minus y1 equals m comma x minus x1. All right, we can go ahead and substitute now. Label x and y. Okay, so y1 here is going to be negative 1, and our slope is negative 1. X remains the same, and then we're going to substitute minus 4. All right, once again, you will notice something happening here. You have these two negative signs side by side. You are going to change that into a positive sign. So it's y plus 1 equals, we're going to use our distributive property, which is negative x. We don't have to put the 1 there, and we are also going to use a distributive property, negative 1 times 4, which will be positive 4. All right, we're not finished because we need to get y by itself. And in order to get y by itself, we must get rid of this 1 that is added onto the y. And to get rid of that 1, we are going to do the inverse of addition, which is subtraction. And whatever we do on one side, we must do that on the other side. So now we're left with y equals negative x, and 4 minus 1 is simply going to be positive 3. This is our equation of our line. We didn't box this one. I apologize. Come back and box this one. And I'd like to illustrate that for you so you get a feel or essence of what really this is all about. So if our B is at 3, we can do a little sketch here. This is going to be at 3. This is 1, 2, 3. And we are going to concentrate also on the point which is 4, negative 1. We can come out here. And let's graph this. 0, 3, that's a B right there. Our slope is negative 1, down 1 over 1, right? Down 1 again over 1. I just want to make sure that it's right. Oh, these are too far. You have to be very careful. If you find yourself where your increments are too far spaced out, you are going to be in a problem. It must sort of be evenly spaced out. All right, this is 2, 3, 4. So 1 is going to be here, and then down 1 over 1, down 1, this would be a negative 1, down 1 over 1 right here. If you notice, it's close. Needs to be on the straight line. I'm just using a sketch graph right now, so bear with me. This is your point here, which is at 4, negative 1. That's your point there. Yes, it did pass through that line. The slope here is a negative slope, which is negative 1. So in essence, you have to be able to link your equation when you write it to what the graph would look like. Yes, you can test it. It is going through the point 4, negative 1. And yes, the slope is negative 1. This is a negative slope because it's going down the hill. Remember now, pretend that you're skiing and you're skiing down the hill, lots of snow, and you're having fun and you're going downhill, and this is what it would look like. Remember also, we don't put a 1 in front of the variable there. That's why we have negative x. So just be mindful of that also. Going back to this, you're going up the hill, going up the slope. It's a positive slope. And yes, we did sketch it where it went through the point, which was negative 1, 3. And the slope there was a 2. You can also look back on my previous video on using the slope intercept formula, where you had to find the B first. There were many steps into that. Whereas this method, you simply are just substituting your point and your slope into the formula and get right into writing your equation. So you can choose which one, but it's good to know both methods so that you'll be versed and you'll be able to tackle any math problem that is given to you. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you shortly. Bye now.